Wait, crayons? Don't talk about crayons. Crayons? Crayons? Even Kamala told you it's the butt hurt blues. No matter who, it's the butt hurt blues. No matter who, it's the butt hurt blues. No matter who, it's the butt hurt blue. It's the butt hurt blues. No matter who, it's the word salad blue. No matter who, it's the word salad blue. No matter who, it's the word salad blue. It's the word salad blue. No.
Lowered expectation.
What's happening? What's going on? Kevin was right! Winter is coming and we don't have a man! Oh my god.
I'm done with life. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with life. And it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done. I'm done.
Good evening. What's going on, gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, if there are any ladies in the building, AB Media 83 here. Welcome to Colosseum Daily. And today we are talking about the government shutdown that it was caused by the Democrat Party. What's going on, Silk Diggy? What's going on, Horowitz? And no, you didn't hear me stutter. The shutdown was caused by the Democrat Party. Now I know what you're thinking. How did the Democrats cause this shutdown? What did they do to cause the shutdown? Oh, right. The Republicans do not have a 60 don't have 60 members in the Senate. So the Democrats have enough people to filibuster, keeping the government open. So in other words, you need 60 votes to keep the government open, even though we only have 100 Senate members. Yeah. We have 100 Senate members, but to get major legislation done, we need 60 votes instead of a simple majority. Now, if you ask me, that's a plague on both their houses. And the Republicans are talking about ditching the filibuster, which Democrats have cried about for years, which is going to go into why this shutdown is totally their fault. Totally and completely their fault. Now, you listen to Democrats, they're fighting for subsidies for the insurance companies. The reason why we're holding up the government and make sure nobody gets their SNAP benefits is because we want to give welfare to Blue Cross and Blue Shield and the other healthcare insurance companies. We want to give subsidies to them. That's what they're holding up the bill for. Now, granted, it is said if these insurance companies don't get these subsidies, healthcare prices are going to go up. Well, and that's probably true, but here's what nobody wants to talk about. They were raising healthcare prices anyway. Only difference is now they're taking the Band-Aid off. They were already raising healthcare prices. Now I know what you're thinking. I thought all of this was solved during Obamacare. Well, it was supposed to be solved. And believe it or not, Barack Obama had a public option on the table. And the Democrats had 60 votes to pass whatever kind of health care plan that Obama wanted. There was just one little problem. A senator by the name of what was that dude's name? A senator by the name of Joe Lieberman made sure that it did not have a public option. And for those of you who don't know what I mean by a public option, basically that's an option that is brought to you by the government to compete with healthcare companies to keep the prices at a reasonable rate. But Joe Lieberman blocked it. Now, Joe Lieberman has passed on now. And Democrats over the years have not improved the healthcare, the ACA, since its inception. They had 4 years to do it when Joe Biden was in office. They had the Congress and the Senate. They could have got rid of the filibuster rule and did something with the ACA, but they chose not to. Well, they did do something. They chose to give the insurance companies subsidies to, quote unquote, keep healthcare costs down, even with the subsidies, healthcare costs have not gone down. With the subsidies, healthcare costs have not gone down. What's going on, Louis? And when they wrote this, this subsidy was already in place, but when they wrote the subsidy, it was planned. They planned it to expire this year, ironically, right before an election. And now they're crying because the Republicans won't extend the subsidy. And don't worry, I'm going to get to their part in this too. I'm going to get to them in a minute because there's a Republican out now that's saying you're going to have to do something about this shit. And believe it or not, it's not who you think it is at all. There is a Republican out there saying you're going to have to do something about health care, do something significantly about health care to lower health care costs. And I'm going to tell you who that is right now. MTG is saying this. Yes, that MTG, Margie Taylor Greene, is telling them they need to do something about healthcare. What's that old saying? Hey, even a broken clock is right twice a day. It is what it is. But make no mistake, this whole shutdown is the Democrat Party's fault. And to the Republicans' credit, they have tried now over 15 times to open the government back up, and they haven't added any pork in it. They made it so they've offered several clean bills. Yes, prescription costs have come down in some areas. But yeah, Democrats are fighting for welfare for insurance companies. Now, in my personal opinion, and for the record, neither party is going to fight for this. I think they need to get rid of the middleman and just fund it properly and fund healthcare properly and get rid of the middleman. But I'm not going to hold my breath for either side to do that. Yes, I know there are progressives that are fighting for Medicare for all. But let's be honest. Neither one of the establishments are going to let that happen because they're too tied to the insurance companies. Neither one of them are going to let that happen. And I already know what Butthurt Blue going to say. That means you need to go vote for them. No, don't. No, don't. Because we know that they're just going to dance around. And as soon as we say something to them, Butthurt Blue's going to come out and say, get the Democrats a chance. They're doing the best they can. Yeah. So, you don't take my word for this. We're going to look at a couple of videos and you can see for yourself. Give me 1 second here. Let me set this up. All right, let's go to playlist. Let's go to my Colosseum Daily. Colosseum Daily, and we're going to share my screen. By the way, I got 8 watching. Like, share, subscribe, hit that Cash App, support the show, and hit that Super Chat and support the show. Support your interests. All right, let's see here. AB Colosseum.
Now to the government shutdown, day 29. More than 40 million Americans
Actually, it's about 30 days now.
set to lose food benefits. Republicans blaming Democrats.
Yes, a lot of people are about to lose their food benefits. It is what it is.
Democrats say Republicans have refused to address health insurance premiums set to skyrocket for 20 million Americans.
Health insurance premiums have been skyrocketing with the subsidies. So that's what the Democrats don't want to talk about. Obamacare has been an abject failure. It's supposed to lower healthcare costs, not raise them.
Jay O'Brien on the Hill again tonight.
Tonight, after 29 days, the government shutdown showdown over healthcare costs for tens of millions of Americans now exploding into a food crisis hitting the country's most vulnerable. SNAP federal food assistance serving 42 million Americans set to run out of money in just 2 days. Many.
Now, before I can tell you, because I know Butthurt Blue is I'm going to mention it. Let's be honest for a minute. If there are any Republicans listening, if you were smart, you would offer an alternative to the healthcare plan. If you were smart, we're going to see in the next few days. Support the show. Supporting the show. Shout out to Horowitz for that. And, sir, you get if I can find it, you get a...
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors.
On the crowd, be sure to hit that Cash App too and support the show. The Republicans were smart. They would address the healthcare situation. They would address that. Evidently, they do. Evidently, there are plans behind the scenes. But if the Republicans were smart, election next year, I would introduce some healthcare legislation. Now, whether they do it or not, that's on them. And if they don't, well, they suffer the consequences in November next year. We just have to see. Wait and see. And once again, that's on, if they don't address the situation, that's on them. And they're giving these pathetic Democrats a chance to beat them in November next year. But it's up to them. Just saying. Just saying. But let's get back to this.
Anxiously stocking up at food pantries.
It's hard to say we need help, especially as mamas. We're supposed to take care of our babies, and when we can't, we need help.
In Arizona, Patricia Lamb stretches about $130 a week in SNAP benefits to feed herself and her grandchildren.
We have a week's worth of meals in here right now.
But this month's money.
Now, because the Democrats don't want to keep the government open, SNAP benefits may not be here on the first of the month. And a lot of people rely on those SNAP benefits. We'll see what happens within the next few hours.
Money is almost gone.
I'm at $2.45 right now. So that's kind of scary.
And tonight, President Trump suggesting his administration may find a way to keep SNAP afloat, but not giving any details. Republicans erupting on the Senate floor, blaming Democrats for refusing to end the shutdown.
SNAP recipients shouldn't go without food. People should be getting paid in this country. And we've tried to do that 13.
Oh, I haven't even talked about the air traffic controllers. Evidently, there are a whole bunch of flights being delayed right now because the air traffic controllers aren't getting paid. Once again, brought to you by the Democrat Party because they want healthcare subsidies. They want to give welfare to the insurance companies. Oh, by the way, with these subsidies, they're also giving illegal migrants free health care with these subsidies. So, yeah, there's that too.
Times. You voted no 13 times.
But Democrats blasting.
Actually, it's up to 15 times now.
The Trump administration saying in SNAP's 60-year history, even during shutdowns, the government has always found a way to keep the program afloat.
If SNAP does run out, tens of millions of Americans will go hungry. Are you getting a sense?
We'll see what they do.
From your Democratic colleagues that the pain of that and other aspects of the shutdown might outweigh this fight for health.
My Democratic colleagues are united in the fact that Trump and the administration can do this, not this weekend, tomorrow, today, right away. We don't want to pit health care and food. They do.
Well, you are. You keep voting not to open the government back open.
We think you can have both.
And David,
yeah, you can have both if you vote to open the government back open and renegotiate.
health insurance premiums are just days away from skyrocketing for some 20 million Americans on Obamacare. Democrats have said they would vote to reopen the government if Republicans negotiated with them on that issue. But so far, more.
Yeah, there's 20 million Americans on that Obamacare plan. There are 40 million Americans on SNAP benefits. Okay.
Then 4 weeks into this shutdown, David, and they haven't. David.
You'll continue to follow it, Jay. Thank you.
Overnight, President Trump vowing to find a solution to help fund the federal nutrition program, SNAP. We're going to get it done. More than 24 states and Washington, D.C. have now sued the administration after it said it could not legally extend SNAP benefits during the shutdown. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are scrambling to fund.
Remember, Donald Trump does not have access to the purse like that. He can't fund SNAP himself. He needs the approval of Congress and the Senate.
The program before it lapses this weekend. 42 million people rely on the program to feed their families.
I'm angry. I'm angry that the politicians that make the decisions don't care. They can just go on vacation, go on recess, and not worry about what's happening to their constituents.
Air traffic controllers missing their first full paycheck.
Yeah, both parties do that.
but still required to work, some up to 6 days a week. Their pay stubs, like this one, reading 0. The shutdown marching forward as Democrats remain dug in on their demand that health care tax credits be extended to prevent premiums from skyrocketing. In a break with her party, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is accusing Republicans of not having a plan to tackle health care costs. House Speaker Mike Johnson says Republicans are willing to negotiate, but only after Democrats agreed to reopen the government.
We're on the precipice of a historic crisis, and Republicans don't even want to talk to us about fixing it.
Well, you just heard, if you open the government, the Republicans will talk to you about fixing it. Hence, you're just shutting the government down to hurt everybody.
And Trump, where's he? Not even in the U.S.
President Trump is negotiating trade deals in Asia, but back in D.C., it's the president's construction plans that are making headlines. The White House saying it's now fired all 6 members of a commission that was set to review plans for the White House ballroom, as well as plans for a new ark that will serve as a national monument. A White House official saying, "We are prepared to appoint a new slate of members to the commission that are more aligned with President Trump's America First policies." And back to the government shutdown. A federal judge has once again blocked the Trump administration from firing federal workers during the shutdown. The Justice Department is expected to appeal. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
All right, let's go to another let's listen to some more commentary on this.
Government shutdowns occur when the out party has lost power in the House and the Senate. The Democratic Party is in a doom loop. All of these main issues, they're on the losing side. They don't have the leadership and they don't have the votes. Why are they doing this? Why are the Democrats shutting down the government? How's it going to end? What's going to happen? Value view next generation of more at of the Republic, except on one earlier occasion. So who's responsible? How's it going to end? What's going to happen? Ostensibly, government shutdowns occur when the out party has lost power in the House and the Senate, or at least they can't push through an agenda. So they feel that the only leverage they have, usually when they've lost the presidency and control of the Congress, is to not approve, and basically by that is not approve of any bills, that is go on a filibuster is what's a word for it. In this case, the Republicans do not have 60 votes in the Senate to override their refusal to vote on the budget, so to speak. Why are they doing this? Why are the Democrats shutting down the government when
a little bit.
We have a history of these shutdowns? And if you go back and look at them, usually one thing happens, that is initially the party that's in the minority and has shut down the government says, well, they won't speak to us, or they don't want to negotiate, or they're spending too much money, and this is the only recourse we have. And that is a believable message, a persuasive message for a few days, but then certain things kick in, such as I didn't get my Social Security check, I didn't get my paycheck, the air traffic control system is slowing my flights down, and the system slowly starts to grind down. And at that magic point, people say, well, wait a minute. We had an election. You guys, whether Republicans or Democrats, lost. And now you're kind of poor losers, and you're saying you're losing in chess, so you want to overthrow the board and say, I'm going to shut it all down. And then public opinion starts to go against the people who shut down. I think we're at that point now where the Democrats are seeing a diminishing return on their investment of shutting the government down. Why did they do this? The historian Thucydides said for most disagreements, there is the pretext, the prophasis, and then there's the real cause, the idea. They say that they're shutting the government down because when they passed the Obamacare program, the Affordable Care Act, which remember was supposed to reduce everybody's health care. And, you know, there's only about 25 million people now who are in need of these subsidies on Obamacare. Most people still get their private insurance, or they're on Medicare, or they're on Medicaid.
Yep.
But when this program did not prove to be affordable, as everybody predicted it wouldn't, when you bring a lot of people into the system that can't pay for it, and you require put these rules and regulations on the medical profession, something has to give, and that gift was cost. So then the Democrats came back and said, we need subsidies. And the Republicans said, well, you said it was going to be cheaper. Why would you need government multi-billion, hundreds of $billion-dollar subsidies? And so they said, well, we'll put a time limit on it. Well, that time limit expired, or will expire, and they knew that, and they signed on to get us this far into the year by agreeing not to shut down. So now they say the official reason is the Republicans are not going to extend a subsidy for the affordable health care. The Republicans said it should be called the non-affordable health care. We told you it wouldn't work. Why do this? Let's rewrite the whole thing or get... So that's the pretext, but there's two other reasons. One,
the sad part is they could have had a public option that would mitigate some of this, but once again, and they had 60 votes to do it back in the day, but once again, Joe Lieberman. It is what it is.
in the general chaos of things, they think it hurts the end party, in particular Donald Trump. In other words, they look at Trump and they say he's reduced crime. There is no such thing as illegal immigration anymore. He's addressing illegal aliens that are criminals, 500,000. He's pursuing them. He's deported many thousands of criminals. There's been 7 or 8 ceasefires abroad. He may bring peace to the Middle East. He's restored the military's shortfall in recruitment. There's 50,000. But so we don't really have an answer to him. But if we create chaos, if we fill the streets full of protesters, if we get violent, if we make everybody upset and not calm, and we think we're going to go into the public, the voter will go into a fetal position, say, make it all go away. In other words, shut down the government, cause general turmoil, maybe even lead us to a recession, and they will blame Trump. Trump did it, Trump did it, Trump did it. That's one reason. The other real reason that they're not telling us is that the Democratic Party is in a doom loop. In other words, on all of these main issues, defund the police, open borders, illegal immigration, the trans sports issue, what we saw abroad, pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas versus Israel. They're on the losing side. And they do not have a charismatic Bill Clinton or Barack Obama to carry them through in a nationwide referendum on these unpopular votes.
True.
So they don't have the leadership and they don't have the votes. And so they're looking for something to do, as I said, to cause chaos. But more importantly, they have a reason why they don't have charismatic leaders, and they have a reason why they're unpopular, and that is the party has passed the establishment by. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all of them are ossified, calcified dinosaurs. And a young group of Mondanis are running on issues that, while they may be popular in a particular jurisdiction or an East Coast liberal city, they have no residents nationwide. And they will be running for office in the midterms. They're going to be challenging incumbents like Chuck Schumer. And they can win in this neo-socialist, DEI, far left, Green New Deal constituency. But the old guard is saying they will lose in a general election, just like McGovern did, and they will take us down for 20 years. So now what we have to do is we have to give in a little bit, because they're saying we're old fuddy-duddies at letting Trump, go go to the races. He's successful. Can't they stop him? We'll stop him. So now we're going to shut down the government so they can tell to the base, we're just as radical as you are. And who's the loser in the final analysis? The American people, because the Democratic Party, who shut the government down, is basically saying, we're Samson and we've got a hand around each pillar and we're going to pull down the whole thing on top of you. This is Victor Davis Hanson for the Daily Signal. Thank you for tuning in.
All right. If you brothers want to come up, you can do so now and talk about this. All right, dismiss that. What was the other one I had on here? But as I said earlier, if Republicans were smart, they would address this healthcare situation, because it is a problem. The healthcare costs have spiked, even with the subsidy, even with the welfare check to the insurance companies. And it's out and open now, and it needs to be addressed. Now, if they don't address it, that's on them. And they might pay for it in November. All right. Who we got coming to the stage? We got Neymar. What's going on, Neymar?
Who's the private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks?
Whatever.
Oh, come on. We can't do Shaft now? You don't remember the song? You damn right.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But it is what it is.
Today is about healthcare. Well,
I mean,
more the government shutdown. I was hoping somebody would come up. He's still in the chat. Because I'm willing to have the conversation.
I'm intrigued. I'm a little intrigued by this shit. Because when was the last time we had the shutdown? When was the last time y'all had a shutdown? Was it 2012, 2013?
No. We had another one under Trump. It was, I think it was 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, there was one. Okay. I just remember the one that happened during Obama's second term.
I forget what it was about, but we did have one. We did have one in Trump's first term.
All right. 2018. That was like the midterm election. You had the midterms and everything at that time, didn't you? Or was this prior to the midterms?
Yeah, I forget what is. I would have to look it up. I forget what it was about. But
hang on, let me look it up.
Trump's term. I do remember it was still when the Republicans were in office. I forget what it was about. I think some of it was over healthcare because they wanted to repeal it, but they didn't have a plan to replace it.
And a lot of people threatened to vote out a lot of Republican congressmen, because remember those town halls they had, and a lot of their constituents were telling them, "Don't you dare take away that health care," because that's all they had.
Yeah.
So, I mean, surprisingly, a lot of folks who were on Obamacare were registered Republicans, and they were telling their representatives, "Hey, you take this from us, we take away your seat."
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up for the 2018 shutdown.
So yeah, there was another shutdown under Trump. I believe that was one of the longest ones too. I think some of it was over the funding the ACA. I'm not quite sure.
You had two actually. One was in January 2018. You had the government federal shutdown that took place.
If I remember correctly, some of that was over. It was over some of the Tea Party knuckleheads were crying about something. If I'm not mistaken, I do kind of.
All right. Let me see the background. The first one took place in January of 2018. Lasted for like 3 days.
Okay.
And that one was, they said, like, was it the This stemmed from disputes over those covered under the program should face deportation. Oh, it's about DACA and everything. Around that time, you saw like yeah, because they were also talking about having some of these people that, deported and everything. There was also a dispute over whether funding should be allocated towards building the Mexican-U.S. border wall.
Yeah.
And like, what was it? Almost 700,000 workers were furloughed during the shutdown. That was the first one.
Okay.
This is the first government shutdown under Republican leadership. And hang on, the second one took place between December 22nd, 2018, and January 25th, 2019.
Okay.
So everybody had a very fucked up, holiday season that year, that particular time.
Yeah, I'm quite sure.
This lasted 30. Okay, it was the longest shutdown. It lasted 35 days and was the longest shutdown in U.S. history, and the second and final federal government shutdown involving furloughs during the first Trump presidency. Oh, it was about Congress and Trump could not agree on an appropriation bill to fund the operations of the government for the 2019 fiscal year.
Mm-hmm.
And the shutdown stemmed from an impasse over Trump's demand for $5.7 billion in federal funds for the U.S.-Mexican border wall. In December 2018, the Senate unanimously passed an appropriation bill without wall funding, and the bill appeared likely to be approved by the Republican-controlled House and Trump after Trump faced heavy criticism from some right-wing media outlets upon this for appearing to back down his campaign promise to build the wall. He announced that he would not sign any appropriation bill that did not fund its construction. As a result, the House passed a stopgap bill. Yeah. And of course, Colosseum was blocked by the Senate in the Senate by a threat of a Democratic filibuster. So, yeah, you had two actually that took place during Trump's.
Now they're upset because he wants to build a ballroom, which I don't think is a bad idea because considering America's position and where we're going, you need to entertain your guests. I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't have a problem with it.
The people who were moved, I remember I looked into it and I just realized, okay, but the ark and everything, that's more like a monument to himself, I guess. And I'm like,
yeah.
Are you that fucking petty? Everybody wants to leave the mark, but are you that so fucking petty are you that obsessed of one-upping Obama to that extent?
Well, he built a basketball court. Oh well. Obama built a basketball.
On the what? It was a what? And what was the purpose of the basketball court?
Well, so you can play basketball more than likely.
More play basketball and recreational stuff. And the size of this ballroom they're talking about on the East Wing?
Yeah. Well, it was a requested feature because evidently there's not many places in the White House to host, dignitaries and stuff properly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a win-win, and plus taxpayer not paying for it. It's a win-win situation. But I need to give this brother his just due. You get a
cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors.
Thank you. That'll go to the collection plate.
But the link's in the chat if you brothers want to come up and debate this. I got a couple more videos we can take a look at.
I'm pretty sure there's one individual who wants to come up and debate you. If he's got the stones to come up.
I'm sure he does.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, which one do I want to play? Well, we just got somebody. Oh, excellent. What's going on, MOT?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I do.
How's it going?
Sorry about that. I had to turn the YouTube off. What's going on, man? I have a question. So who runs the House right now?
The Republicans.
Okay, so who runs the Senate right now?
The Republicans.
Okay, so if you just simply need, if they run the actual House and the Senate, they can easily pass a continuing resolution. It's been done plenty of times before. Okay, so since we passed those two things, we know who runs that. I don't really care about the ballroom and all that kind of other stuff. No, dignitary's been hosted there for plenty of times, and we can't be having this Doge committee while getting private jets for Christy Nome and doing this, ballroom thing, and not really like they can actually select parts of the actual Medicare and Medicaid to actually bring forward. I mean, they don't have to cut it all the way off. I think I don't think this is a total loss, right? I think that we should do this for if we're going to shut the government and give people a choice between blue state Obamacare and tax cuts for rich people. I think we should shut the government down for actual red states not having a balanced budget and needing blue states in order to run their third world gulags in their southern states. Mississippi, my home state that I didn't get to choose, it included. I mean, if the idea that tax cuts for rich people is the precedent and we got to cut all these things anywhere else, I think that we should make the South and all of these flower states pay a hell of a lot more and have a balanced budget before we bring them back. Because all the tax cuts that they provide within their state, other productive states are paying for that.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's a fair deal. Like if you're going to give people an actual idea of you're going to force these people to have a functional government or cut their health care. Everybody knows that healthcare premiums are going to skyrocket and go up. I think they're going to do something at the last minute at some point. But if they keep this going through the end of November, it's going to be very hard to recover from.
I do too. We don't always agree, but let's be honest. There's too many white people on SNAP benefits for them to be playing games with this.
And that's who they're cutting from it. This isn't a black person thing. I hope people don't get the idea that this is about black people. This is about kicking white people off the dole. And especially in not just the South. We're talking about Nebraska, your Idahos, Montana, North and South Dakota.
The entire Midwest.
Yes. Yes, so this isn't about welfare queens and all that. This is about hurting white people who voted for them. So I don't know how this is going to go, but that's all I really have for that. I don't really have much more than that. So I'll just let you continue with the show.
Yeah, MOT, I'm curious. What are your thoughts on the New York mayor race?
Man, I'm not a New York dude, man. I think that is the heart of Wall Street.
Yes.
New York City. And no matter who you are, Democrat or Republican, you're going to be a conservative one, no matter what it is. And you have to kiss ass to the NYPD. And I fucking hate that shit. You've been a proud law enforcement myself. I don't like the whole kissing the ass of law enforcement bullshit. I can't stand
especially
that.
in Manhattan.
Huh? I'm sorry?
Yeah, Manhattan.
Especially in Manhattan, that borough in particular, because that's where Wall Street is. That's also where Central Park, and that's where the seat of New York City is in the borough of Manhattan.
Yeah, but people have to understand that the government has an actual responsibility to take care of its people, not just corporations. And that's what he kind of, that's what no one likes. Because if people get the idea that our allies have universal health care and we don't have it here, even though they have capitalism over there, they don't have billionaires over there. Like to the amount. Like they don't get to advertise in media. They don't get to own media companies. Like there's a lot of stuff that is wrong with America. But But this my Donnie thing. I think that they have
Mhm.
to try to soil this dude before he even gets any type of power.
Okay.
And to MOT's point, since I live in Europe, we have stricter regulations, and they understand the importance of protecting the population from corporate greed and whatnot
Yes.
to a greater extent.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's not always. It's a lot easier said than done because you still have corrupt. You still have people who've been charged with corruption and whatnot. At least they're getting They're being apprehended and charged. And just recently, what is his name? Sarkozy, former president of France. He was convicted for corruption and shit.
Oh, really? Wow.
Sarkozy, yeah, he got convicted. He got a bit convicted.
So are you kind of
He
in
hasn't
the
been
camp?
sentenced yet.
Yeah. So you kind of in the camp where you kind of hope Cuomo gets it or the other guy?
Oh, hell no.
No,
I
you
want
don't want Cuomo.
No. I don't want Cuomo, and I don't want the billionaire guys
Okay.
who actually has grocery stores. Who's against, New York having grocery stores and passing those savings along to the people.
Yeah,
But if
Cuomo.
you look,
That's I don't.
okay,
That's a bad look. Trying even letting him run, man.
yeah,
He's got
how
over
did
there.
that guy get this far? I
Yeah.
mean, unreal.
I mean, letting all those people die like that, man, like this ain't even about party. You can't let somebody like that run in your primary. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, but if you look like in farm country, they don't have a problem with low cost diesel, low cost gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a co-op that's ran between the state and the federal government. Like I think it's a good deal. For some things, not all things, but given that that guy's a billionaire and he runs specialty grocery stores and like when people are talking about socialism, you can't have somebody who's benefiting off of a broken system up there trying to keep things artificially high for people. I think that's crazy. And nobody in the media has asked him a single solitary question about that,
Okay.
which I think is nuts.
Well, we have a New Yorker up here. You want to comment on this, Nagam?
Yeah, sure. I'll comment on it very quickly. Listen, thanks for inviting me up.
No
Okay.
problem.
All right. So since we're here, I'll keep everything very respectful. The bottom line, very simply, is this: people in New York are looking for somewhat of a change. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a change. What Mandami brings is a populist economic message that people haven't heard anything like that in a while. You have a very high employed city, a lot of
Yes.
you've got a lot of activity going on there economically, and you have rising costs because you have a very powerful real estate lobby that really has put an iron grip on the city, and they've had an iron grip there for quite a while. And we saw what happened with COVID. Prices went down, people were stepping off. But as COVID opened up, more people started coming back into the city after literally the year after COVID. After people really opened up, you had 1.9 million people that came into the city. 1.9 million. So you had a huge amount of people who influxed, and then next thing you know, boom, the dollars went up, and now things have gotten really crazy. So they've tried to really push things a lot, just a lot tighter. They've tried to make things a lot tighter on the dollars and raise money and so forth. But as far as that's been concerned, there's some pushback on that at this stage, and the real estate moguls are kind of feeling that. And we're also looking at certainly food prices and stuff that have gone up, and people, you have a large number of people in the city that are not multimillionaires and and billionaires.
Yeah. All your workers, yeah.
But you have a very large working class population in every one of the major boroughs: Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Staten Island as well, which tends to be a little bit more conservative, if you will. But that's what you're really looking at. You have many people who are I'm going to say working poor. People who say that they're poor, they're making $50,000 and so maybe not be able to get as much SNAP benefits and so forth, but yet you have people who work in 2 jobs, 2 working families, and they're just barely making it. So when somebody is coming through with an economic message that actually makes them feel better, do better, let's just say, with transportation, food costs, these types of things, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to listen to that. You're going to get a lot of people who are going to listen to that. You have a lot of young people who are in the city, maybe not in Manhattan proper per se, but in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Queens, where they are. A lot of, you're looking at a heavy educational center where you have, some major universities, colleges, and so forth. That you have a lot of young people in there going to school and things of that nature. So you've got a lot going on in that metro area that is of the most dynamic anywhere in this country. So you've got a lot of heavy duty things going on there, and Mendami has resonated with these people. He's resonated with them, and the billionaire class and so forth certainly are going to feel nervous by this. But this is more of a populist movement, and that's really what you're dealing with, and that's why Mendami has kind of captured people's attention with, and the people looking for that change agent. Trump was supposed to be that change agent. A lot of people like that change. Trump was going to bring change and so forth. Yeah, he has. Has that been the best for a lot of people? You see a lot who do not agree with that. But regardless, he came out as that change agent. That's what brought a lot of people out, especially with his group. That same thing that's what Mendami really is kind of bringing to the table of what people like as well. So that's resonating. That's why it looks like he's going. It looks like, from what we can see right now, it looks like he's going to do pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a couple other races too, if I'm not mistaken. We got Virginia and New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken.
New Jersey. Looks like some real problems in Virginia for the Republicans. They have this black woman there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's going to win.
Nope. Doesn't it looks a little tough for her. Jersey the same. Looks a little tough. The Republicans are feeling tight, and that's kind of where things are currently. Where these races will come down, we'll see. We'll see certainly on the 4th. Tuesday night, but that's where we are right now, and it seems like the Democrats are gaining some traction. You want to say Boulay and everything else like that with myself? Yes, I'm with the Syracuse University. Yes, I'm an Alpha Phi Alpha and all of that. But one of the things, and I'm very proud and love it and love all of it.
Nothing wrong with that.
But what I really am, I consider myself very much a political entity and understand common interests. My views have always been one half of the black community should be in the Republican Party, the other half should be in the in the Democratic Party as well. You have both because you can influence your interests from both sides, like many other ethnic groups.
We agree on that.
Yeah, and I've been saying this for years. What we see from the Republican Party ever since we had Michael Steele, who was head of the RNC after Obama got elected, they vacated the black vote pretty much and said, we're not going to get black people in. So what we're going to do is try to gerrymander and do other things to keep ourselves in power and forget about really keeping black, bringing a lot of black people into the party. That's why
they can't do that forever, but we'll see.
That's why 85% of the party currently right now, a little over 85, I think it's 89%, is white. And you have a very small number of blacks, and that number has not significantly increased as new black Republicans are coming on, because they're not. You may have had some people vote for Trump in this last election, which wasn't a huge number at all. I mean, certainly George Bush Sr., actually Jr., and Nixon, and those certainly had a lot more black population of the black vote than Trump ever got. But that's
I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'm sure that's pretty accurate.
Oh, no, it's quite accurate. It's quite accurate. You're looking at black people for Nixon actually came out about 28%. You looked at George Bush, when George Bush had
understand his electoral map, so yeah, I can see that.
When George Bush actually came out, and we'll talk about George Bush W, when he bought in Colin Powell, and when he bought in Condoleezza Rice.
Yeah, Dr. Rice. Yes.
My own mother, who was a Democrat to her heart, voted for him. Okay, my own mom, a sworn dyed in the wool Democrat, sworn dyed in the wool. My own mom voted for him. So that's what pulled those black people out, of which of which was kind of unbelievable. But he was somewhere at about 24%, maybe close to 25%. So it was he grabbed a large number. He grabbed a large number of people. So you had that kind of support coming from people where they saw their interests. So my whole deal with respect to looking at politics and looking at where black people and so forth should go is not directly with one party. It's your interests. And when we look at our common interest, I don't see where that is. When we start to question you guys on that, you have no answer for that whatsoever. And that's why we come down so hard on you guys, because you do not question whatsoever what the Repubs are doing, but you expect the Democrats to do everything for you. Now, are the Democrats perfect? No, by no means. Do the Democrats do certain things that that we haven't liked, like gerrymander certain seats? Like I looked at like my girl up here in New York, she very close with Jamal Bowman. But the Democratic Party switched up that seat.
Oh boy, yes, they did.
Bought what we call the Golden Triangle and so forth into his district. Rye, heavily Jewish and white and so forth, as they redistricted his seat and got him on up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To your point, Don, I did point out earlier, if the Republicans were smart, they would address this healthcare problem with the subsidies.
But they don't want to address that problem, because if they start,
that might be true, and that's on them if they pay for it.
But if they address that, then they have to address other issues that ultimately are going to screw them with their base, because the majority of people that are getting hit right now are white people. The MOT came up and made that's who is getting hit the heaviest. I think you understand that as well. 60%.
Oh yeah. I'm abundantly clear.
Hold a second. 60% of your SNAP benefit people are whites.
Yes.
60%.
Yes, I'm not on this. The majority are black. No. I deal in reality. But and I said earlier that we don't agree on much, but they're probably going to do something about the SNAP, because let's face it, the majority of people on SNAP are white people.
Well, that's who's getting hit the hardest. These these Republicans that people are running behind are doing nothing. Are doing nothing for you. Where are your benefits? Where are your benefits? Right? The Supreme Court is against black folks. Most people don't even understand the Voting Rights Act. They don't even understand it. Can't articulate it. Can't understand exactly what this thing is doing to you and how that matches up and works directly with gerrymandering. That once again cuts you out of your own areas and your own districts, so you have no representation. And they're doing it in the area where you have the largest black population in the country, Texas. They're doing that to knock your vote out. If your vote wasn't important, why are they out here trying to gerrymander you and trying to voter suppress you by knocking you out of the box? Most people can't really answer that. They don't understand it. Okay, the mechanisms of how they're trying to voter suppress you. But most of these people here, you guys don't talk about that. You guys don't break this thing down scientifically the way it needs to be. We don't talk about it at a level that we really need to understand it at, so we can benefit from it. That's where Black people in the Republican and the Democratic Party can be an extraordinary power. But that's something that we don't talk about and we don't utilize because we're not talking about this realistically. We're running a shine bone game to be to carry the suitcases for these inferior, mediocre people that we see running. We certainly see them in the Democratic Party, and by God, the Republican Party is a DEI subject with respect to that. It's unreal, but we're not addressing any of this at this stage. So we need to have a far stronger Black politics that we're not talking about, and that's what that's what we're on, and we don't see you guys on this side covering any of that at all.
All right. What's going on, Craig? Craig, you there?
Yeah, sorry. I'm still getting used to reusing this, all these buttons and whistles. It seems like I have to push now. So it used to be this complicated.
Yeah, StreamYard keeps adding stuff. They better keep adding stuff. I pay enough for it.
Yeah. That is, I agree with that. Yeah, I got I don't know what plan it is now. So, hey, usually on Black Friday, they'll have a deal. I don't know if you want to keep your eye out for it, though. So they usually have a pretty good deal if you want to re-up your what's going on. So that's what I plan on doing. Same with all the streaming services as well. They'll generally have that going on. But I just heard some of the conversation. I just came in on it late. I'll simply say that both parties, gerrymander, California's doing it, Virginia's doing it. And again, both parties do it. They're all guilty of that. I just think what it comes down to, from what I can understand from the Republican Party v. Democrats for Black men, is that neither one is great for Black men. However, Black men being practical simply ask who's going to help get more money in your pocket, and that is right now that is the Republican Party. Right now,
the Republican Party is taking money out of your pocket.
Well, yeah, of course they both do.
The Republican Party is seeing that you don't get involved deeper in the economic system. They're removing you out of places. They're trying to say DEI and all that is giving people unfair advantages, which is ridiculous. All right, which is utterly ridiculous.
We don't really benefit from DEI anyway. We're on like 4%.
Because
that didn't benefit Black men at all.
What they want to do is they feel as though that they're entitled to these opportunities. They don't want you in there because you've been, in fact, in many ways, you've been too successful. So that's a major.
Yeah, well, they ain't got no choice. Not if they want to compete with China.
Okay, so they're trying to make sure you don't compete, and they're trying to bring it down. There are a lot of reasons for that. One of the big demographic changes and so forth that have really happened here in this country is frightening these people. So they don't want you to have even more power than what you have. And they're looking at the numbers. White people can count. I give them credit there. They can count. All right. So they know exactly where the numbers are, birth rates, so forth. That's why they said 2042 is the year for them, because that's the year that they actually become a minority from a birth perspective in this country. They become, from who's being born at that point, they will become a minority. They will become the lesser group being born. Now, mind you, they have bigger numbers. So, of course, that's going to take, 100 years or so to kind of turn that numerical game around. But yet, when it starts to come to who's the youngest population, who's up and coming, who's going to be the youngest, fastest growing young groups in this country, it's not going to be white people. All right. The average age of the average Latino
they've already been overtaken as far as young people.
The average age of the average Latino in this country coming up right now, the average Latino, 11 years old. all right, 11 years old, all right, black people, 26, white folks, 56 years of age. I mean, you're not turning this thing around. What these guys are doing and with the stuff that they're trying to pull here right now is based on how they can maintain control, and they're 50 years too late. If they really wanted to stop and grab all these Latinos and start deporting them and everything else like that, you know, they should have done that 50 years ago. All right, it's too late.
Well, let them FANFO.
It's too late. So the game that they're trying to play right now is a knee-jerk myotatic reaction to what's going on. They brought these savages in here who are DEI all themselves. None of them are qualified to be where they are currently, but they're here trying to turn back the clock. And what I'm saying,
black men did not get help from DEI in the gone.
Well, hold
I mean, black men do not care about that as much.
We don't need to sit here and even talk about, because we have the statistics on this.
Okay.
We've got the statistics. So I'm not going to sit here and even argue that ridiculous.
Well, I'm not arguing with you. The fact that those just didn't really help black men.
So, yeah,
didn't say it didn't help at all.
Yeah, it did. You had blacks in the military. You had your blacks moving into the corporate space. You have blacks moving into area. Certainly,
black men or black women.
Certainly, no, black men.
Oh, okay.
Men. And we have the numbers on that. You guys are, of course, are on this black male stuff and all that. Okay.
No, I'm just asking. You said you have data. That's fine.
A lot of that, yeah. But see, we can talk about the data all day long. The narrative is what's been going out. That's
right.
Not true. And you can keep talking about the numbers, but the guys want to keep a certain narrative going. So I'm not going to.
No, that I agree with. Yeah.
I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time with the bullshit narrative. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is you have to look at exactly where your common interests lie. All right. How are you going to vote? Sitting back, not voting, not being involved, talking about you not getting. It's crazy. You have to.
Well, I agree. Yeah,
we have to be political.
Well, you do realize, that a lot of people.
All right,
go ahead, Nego. Go ahead, Nego. I'm sorry.
We have to be politically sophisticated. We have to look at what the facts are. We cannot be ahistorical, and we have to deal with these things exactly how it's coming down. Not in ways that we want to say this is or how we want to say this is, but look at exactly what's coming down and directly affecting us. All right. When white people look at you, when they start to move against you, they're not looking at black men and black women. They're looking at you as a black group, women and men. Okay.
Again, I don't disagree with you at all.
They're looking at you like a group, and they're trying to eliminate you as a group.
I just think that at this point in time, black men and black women's interests are opposite. See, that is an issue as far as black men putting together a united front. Nagone, you just talk. I'm just simply saying I'm gonna bring up Dr. T. I'm gonna bring up Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. Are right now have opposed views on a whole lot of things, Nagone.
Man, come on, you're talking.
No, I'm not going into narratives. You know that.
No. Black men and black women, we tend to vote very much along the same lines. Yeah. And I agree. And we'll look at the same issues that are affecting black women, affect black men.
And
we're getting hit, the same way, just like we're looking at now. Black employment overall is starting to get hit. Black males are getting hit pretty hard, like black women, and none of you people are addressing that. None of you are addressing the black male rising unemployment rate. None of you are addressing that.
What are you doing to address it?
What are we doing to address it?
What are you doing to address it?
Making people aware of what's going
on. Okay. Well, that's easy to do to go.
Number one, aware, and number two, I'm out here in the streets, certainly getting people involved politically to sit back and look at what's really going on. Get out here, get involved in your communities, get involved certainly in your local political elections and your local political community, as I would say, and certainly start to get involved to help to move things at that low, at that level. When you have the Job Corps and these kind of institutions getting eliminated, that helped to get Job Corps. I mean, I got a job one summer getting into the Job Corps for construction. I did that when I was a fucking kid. When I say a kid, a young teenager in college and so forth. But the Job Corps and these kind of things got a lot of us involved. This is being eliminated certainly by the Republicans. None of you are talking about that. All right.
Oh, I have.
But see, these kind of things are affecting black males directly, hitting black males very hard. None of you are addressing this. So
all right, who is none of you all? Can you put some?
When I come here, I don't see you talking about it.
I just came up here.
I don't see AB talking about it really.
Oh.
I don't see any of the other black.
But I just got here.
Getting on top of it. No, it's not about you just came in. We're talking about this going over, let's say, the last period of months and so forth, and especially what's been going down now, which has been ill. And nobody has been addressing this whatsoever.
Well, as I tried to say to you, keep talking. Dr. Tiasan Johnson already came up with like a 16 to 18 point plan. Hold on, Nicole. Yeah, he's done that. He's done that. So now, yes, I said this. No, will you be quiet for 10 seconds?
No, whole second. But we don't see any of that agenda. That is not.
That's what I was about to say. Yes, you are correct.
Anywhere.
Yeah, you are correct. However, it depends on what state you're in. A lot of the laws in these states are changing for men. You keep talking.
Where are these states?
Tennessee, Kentucky, Texas, Florida.
Where?
Hold on. You said where are these states? I'm giving you the states.
Do we see this? Do we see this? Let's say on the state house floors being initiated to move these things with these
it takes time
with these Republican run state.
Yes, I'm in Kentucky, Nagone. So that right there, I just busted your cheeks. I'm in Kentucky, and our law just changed. We literally got them to go back into the 2018 law to help with men with child support and DNA testing. We just did it.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Okay.
That's the truth, okay?
Okay, you're talking about state and DNA testing.
Yes, that is something that the men wanted, that the men worked within the state, not just Kentucky, Nagone, Tennessee.
Hold on a second.
Florida.
I just saw in Texas where they have a law coming up saying that you are going to be paying for child support.
Yeah.
Okay. For women who are pregnant in their first trimester, you will be getting charged. Okay.
But what has to happen before you get charged, Nagone?
Before you
what has to Nagone? What needs to happen before they charge you, Nagone?
Before this baby is even.
What has to happen before you get charged, Nagone?
Before this baby even comes to term.
What has to happen before you get charged, Nagone?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? You're correct. You can get charged.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? What has to happen? Hold on, AB. What needs to happen in the state of Texas before? Well, you won't be quiet to save your life.
All you have to do is come up and say you're on the hook, and your ass is on the fucking hook.
But what has to happen before you get on the hook, Nagone?
Until they can prove it by a.
How do they prove it, Nagone?
But the minute she comes up there and says you're done.
No, how do they prove it, Nagone?
Oh, well, ultimately they're going to prove it by blood test.
Oh, they have to do the blood test first before they hook you.
No, they don't have to do the blood test first.
Yes, they do.
Only thing she has to do is come and claim.
Yes, they do. She can go up there and say Tom, Dick, and Harry are my baby daddy, but they're gonna before they award her anything. Go ahead and take a look at it. And also, if the man is caught up on his child support, hold on. If the man is caught up on his child support, they're not going to talk over you. Okay, if you're not going to be quiet, there can't be a dialogue. Now you just lied, or you just didn't know.
Have I lied? What have I lied about?
You didn't know the facts, so you're misleading people.
What have I lied about?
You didn't know that they had to do a DNA. You just said she could just hook you on there.
I told you.
That's what you said.
I told you at the end of the day, they're going to have a DNA test, right?
Yeah, they have to do that first.
Okay. But if that woman comes up in the court and says that this man is is X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I'm in my first trimester before this thing even comes, before this baby even comes to term, where they're going to test whether this is the case or not. She could put you on that support.
They can after they test you.
All right, and that and those are your conservatives. Those
again, yes. I mean, you still have to have the DNA test done.
Those are your conservatives.
Child support. I mean,
but let's move on a little bit beyond that. Your 18-point agenda that you have is not
18. Okay,
19.
It's 19-point agenda. It's not being pushed anywhere.
I don't disagree with that. I just gave you some states, not in a macro, in a micro. The thing that the men want is in the states to go.
That died, and
it's nothing to do with the feds.
Okay,
I've said that multiple times.
You say, okay, so you have these bills. What I want you to do is pull up these bills to show me. All right.
What now, dude? I'm ready to go to bed. I gotta go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I hear you.
Right? Pull these bills up and show me. All right.
Okay to go. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
You will not be able to do that. Anyway,
well, I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm not going to bed in like 10 minutes.
Hey, AB.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me up, my man. All right. Thanks for inviting me up. I appreciate it. I just wanted to come in. I dropped a little $2 joint in your joint. All right.
I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, appreciate you.
Okay. Little $2 joint. All right. What I would say to you guys is, you want to sit here and you want to talk shit. You guys now have supported these Republicans. Start to work with them. All right. We haven't seen you work with any of them. Start to work with the guys that you're supporting. All right. That's what I would say. That would be good if you could do that. All right.
Who was talking shit?
Okay.
I mean, I just came up here.
No. We're not talking. Man, chill out, man. I ain't talking much.
All right.
Look, like I said, if you guys are working, you guys want to work with these Republicans, since you guys want to support them, work with these Repubs. Start to work with the guys you support. All right. Okay. That's what I'd like to see instead of them turning back the clock on us. Let's see if you guys can move things forward with them. I would like to see you guys working with Republicans at this stage.
Gotcha.
Work with them to get your interests met.
Gotcha.
All right, gentlemen. You guys have a great night. I came up here, AB, and I'll talk with you later. Okay, gentlemen. All right. Take care, Craig.
Yeah, man. Take it easy, brother.
Take care, AB.
Bye-bye.
You guys have a great night.
Peace out.
Useless.
Now. Yeah. To his point, I actually said during the beginning of the stream, Republicans have an opportunity here. You have this healthcare problem with the subsidies. You're basically giving welfare to insurance company to raise our prices anyway.
Yeah.
Y'all need to do something about that. It'll help your chances in November. Even if you don't, that's on you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the things that the men want are in each state. Has nothing to do with the federal government. I've said that about. I mean, I've been saying that,
and they don't give us credit. So what? It's still getting done.
Yeah, and it's changed in Tennessee, here in Kentucky, Texas, Florida. They changed the alimony laws in Florida. So he needs to go. I mean, I'm not going to hold his hand. He needs to go figure that out himself. But in Texas, if a woman says that you're the baby's father, you will go to court. You'll get a court summons. You can go there and contest. When you contest, they will then do a DNA test. And if you are the father and you do pay your child support, you're up to date, and then she denies you visits, all you got to do is call the cops, and the cops will arrest her. They're doing it right now. I think Dennis Sproul Esquire. Yeah, Dennis Sproul Esquire did a video on it. It's been some time ago, but I mean, that is state to state what the men want. And I've said before, the men in this space were one issue voters, and their issue was that they didn't want Harris to win. Because I agreed. I said, that's why I came up on that one panel, AB, with Art, and I said, name 2 things that Trump's going to do. Nobody could answer. I mean, I literally was just sitting there waiting. Like, what is he going to do? I had people say he's going to end wars. It's like, oh, okay. But then he about to go ahead and possibly start one in Venezuela. isn't he?
I look at it this way though. I will take that Texas law over that crap that was happening in Michigan, where a chick can just go to the court and say you're the baby daddy with no DNA test and you get you put on child support for no.
Well, Tennessee did it, and Tennessee, that was a Democrat that did that. It was the Republicans that blocked his initial push because he wanted jail time, and the Republicans said no, that's too harsh. That's why he came back with a fine. Said, well, as long as you get, because again, you just want to get your name off of it. And like that one, these people are doing these videos now saying I'm going to be sued because I lied about the paternity. That was unheard of. That is now changing. And even the VP, I forgot where he was, the vice president, J.D. Vance, said you're going to start seeing legislation to back this stuff. Where I can't remember where that was at though, but that takes time. Yeah. But he's talking about federal stuff. This is what he sounds like. He's talking about federal stuff versus state stuff. The men need to work within the state that they're in. And yes, you should. If you live in Michigan, you should know whatever you want to change. You need to know what that is.
I agree with that. You should know what your local politicians are doing. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, that's and what's he saying? This guy saying HF and H is saying it's finally coming up in Ohio. That's a red state with a Republican legislator. It happened in Kentucky. We have a Democratic governor who's going to be running for president. We have a Democratic governor, but we have
governor. Just out of curiosity,
huh?
What is your governor like? Just out of curiosity,
he's a good governor. Yeah, he's a good governor. People are working, and that's what people wanted.
You know what they've been trying to throw us: Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, he's on that. Bashir is on that. That's why he's been getting so much national press. He's on MSNBC. He's been on MSNBC, CNN, Fox, News Nation. He's been on those shows, and he is allegedly trying to get to the Joe Rogan show. But but again, he's a good governor. He's solid. People are working. They're doing a lot of construction projects. So men are working. Apple is going to bring some investment into Kentucky. I mean, he's doing his job as a governor. Everybody, he won. He beat Daniel Cameron. They called our polls closed at 7. They declared him the winner at like 9:40. Like he crushed Daniel Cameron. And Cameron's running again. I think he's going to try to run again for Andy Barr's seat. So, but we'll have to wait and see. But there's several Republicans speaking out. Rand Paul spoke out about the shutdown because it is hurting Kentucky, especially Kentucky's farmers. Yeah, it's hurting our bourbon business. But each shutdowns happen when one party is locked out of the process, and the Democrats are locked out. That's why Bernie Sanders went on CNN and said, if we open the government, we lose leverage. Those are his words. That's why I'm kind of like, well, people just need to listen to what's being said, and you find out who shut the government down. They don't have Democrats have no leverage.
Said that either. If they open the government, they lose all their leverage. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So he didn't. That's not a lie, because then they don't have anything to slow. So this way, but this allows Trump, like Steve Bannon said, to do what he's wanted to do, which is just fire people left and right. That's what he's wanted to do anyway, and that's what Trump's going to be doing. So because he's got Elon Musk's plan right in front of him, they haven't activated about maybe 15 to 21% of it. So a lot of it's going to happen next year. But you've seen the layoffs. UPS, Google just offered YouTube, the employees at YouTube, just a buyout. They just offered it. Yeah. So but UPS, FedEx are all laying off. So it's really after. But I agree with Nagone that people need to get involved. Yeah. However, that is a state to state issue, and it has to go through that. That's where the men need to be. The city councils, the people who are interested.
I actually agree with him that we need to be in both parties.
I don't see that either. Yeah, I don't see that.
Even if here's been my issue. Even if that party's racist, we still need to participate because we have too many eggs in one basket right now.
Well, that's what's happening. That is what's happening. So
we have too many eggs in one basket, and that's our biggest problem right now.
Yeah, they do. And you got to talk to everybody. Even Barack Obama talked to everybody. He had Republicans in his cabinet. Chuck Hagel was in his cabinet. A couple other Republicans were. I can't remember. Joan, so it's fine to talk to
He's
everybody.
not totally wrong. The Republicans want to remain a white problem. There's just one problem. It's called opioids, and they're not going to be able to play that game forever. Sooner or later, they're going to have to bend the knee to black people.
Well, they're going to have to
and other minorities, minorities.
Yeah, and that's why they're firing. They're going to start firing Caucasian women next because they're on the chopping block next because they got to get them out of the workforce so that they can stay home. And if they get stuck at home in mommy and daddy's house, now it's 1958 when Frank came over and asked, "Can Susie go out?" And oh yes, have Susie back before 9 o'clock. They're back to that. So now he's working, he's doing the job, and she's waiting on him. And now her getting married looks more attractive than her chasing somebody called the bag. I don't know who the bag is, but the bag, they keep chasing someone called the bag. So they're just going to unemploy them. And then the 4B movement in South Korea ended because they fired all the women. They just fired them. You know, you don't have a job. So
the 4B movement ended in South Korea. Wow. Okay.
They ended it. Yeah. So, they just.
I'm not surprised that's a more patriarchal country. They ain't fucking around.
No, they just fired them. There's no safety net. There's now all of a sudden, Chung Lee will now go out with Lou Wang.
Yep.
Now, all of a sudden, because now it's best for her to do that instead of be unemployed. But it was already coming to an end when it got popular in the West. The United States is the last country to push back against feminism. It is the last country. So that's what I was saying. I don't disagree. People need to be in both parties. I don't disagree that. I've said before about Dr. T's. You put it in the chat. 19-point plan. Yeah, I agree that people aren't talking about that enough. And I said after the election, I literally said, if black men do not get together and start pushing, you're not going to be able to push all 19 of these that Dr. T's got. You're going to have to fellowship, maybe agree on 8 to 10 of them and say, these are the 10 we want, but here's the 6 that we're going to the mat for these 6. That's what has to happen. And maybe that will happen next year for all I know. You got a whole year to do. But ultimately, with the black manosphere, when it comes to politics, I've said this before. With Kamala Harris, it was simply they were one issue voters, and their one issue was we didn't want that matriarchal bitch to win. That's it. That was it. That's what they voted against. They didn't vote for Trump. That's why I said, remember, AB, people didn't vote for Trump in the black manosphere. They voted against Harris. That's what happened. So, and that's in Kamala Harris's book, actually, how she felt that men didn't vote for Trump as much as they voted against her. So, it is what it is.
I will confess I voted against her because I didn't think she was qualified or fit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are saying that. So don't feel bad. A lot of people are saying, they didn't want to vote for it. They didn't feel
let's just get this out of the way. It has nothing to do with her being a black woman. I'm talking
about not black, but okay.
Well, they're gonna claim she's black anyway, so whatever.
Yeah,
she's black,
But it has nothing to do with her ethnicity at all. Is the fact that I didn't think she would fit. I didn't think she was the right candidate at all, and
I didn't either. I thought there should have been a primary. I agree with Obama. I agree with Obama.
We heard more about that. Evidently, when Pelosi endorsed Kamala, he said, "What the f are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah, so that to me that proved my whole point. I'm like, they needed to have a primary, and it had Harris won, that would have been fine. But Pelosi and then Jasmine Crockett saying the bullshit that she said. It's like, okay, well,
I forgot about that. That's right. She did say if they don't pick Kamala Harris, black women are going to riot. I was like, okay.
Yeah, the black women will blow up the Democratic Party, but that's what they did. That's why you don't see the Democrats running around talking about the poor black woman, because they do blame black women for the loss, because black women were supposed
it's not the man's fault for once? Okay.
It's not. Yeah, they could not deliver black male voters to the level. Again, that's what Lindy Lee was saying. They were told that they were going to win 4 of the 7 battleground states. That's, she told Sean Ryan, the YouTuber Sean Ryan, that and they were not telling them. And again, they may have, whether they were always within the margin. They were always within the margin. Now on the polls, the outer polls, the exit polls, the internal polls, only the people that are running your election get eternal polls. So so there's no way to, so they weren't lying about the out polls, they were lying about the internal polls.
Yeah.
That's why they wanted to do an audit, and they blocked them from doing the audit. So they started calling Lindy Lee all type of names and all that stuff. She got attacked by Roly Poly Martin because they didn't want to know where the money went.
She brought Roly Poly. I don't blame her.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't know why Lindy Lee's scared of me. Like, dude, you're 300 pounds. You see that small woman? I see why she's scared of you.
Yeah, you know, like he's going to try to eat her or something. But at the end of the day, yeah. So I don't totally disagree with what Nagone is saying, but yeah, don't come talking to me not knowing what your laws are. That you're getting your cheeks busted for that shit. So yeah, Texas, if a woman does accuse you of getting her pregnant, that is fine. The courts will either have a sheriff come and deliver, or a constable will deliver the court papers to you. You can go to court when you can contest, and when you contest, everything is on hold until they get the results. Now, he is correct. If it comes back that I'm the baby's father, I'm going to start paying child support right then and there. That's right. But before they can get to my money, they got to prove I'm the father. They just can't arbitrarily do it. That's why when that law passed, you had all these men complain. I'm like, well, did you all read what actually has to happen before they have to establish paternity? So, you know, just and if you're lying and you're caught lying, the man can actually, this is outside, they can actually take you to civil court and sue you for the money that he spent. So I've said this. You don't need a law for DNA testing. Just get the test done. Just get it done. Don't sign anything at the hospital.
Yeah, let's have a little fun here. I'm sure you've seen by now the infamous Halo campaign evolved.
Oh yeah.
And here's my opinion. Now this is the Xbox guy saying this from the bottom of my heart to all the Xbox fanboys complaining about it not having multiplayer and not being like the original. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Actually, this is exactly what they needed to do. Okay. You're like, it doesn't have multiplayer. What is the reason? What is one of the main reasons PlayStation beat Xbox in the first place?
But they pretty much, the main reason they beat them was exclusive titles. That's why.
What type of titles?
What type of titles?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's debatable. What's not debatable is that they had exclusive content.
Exclusive single player titles.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Exclusive single player titles. That's why they're focusing on the campaign, which is a smart move.
Can I say something in my views why they decide to give up their games from the exclusive Xbox to all the including PlayStation? You want to give my analysis why?
Go ahead.
I see it as this. When they start buying the studios, I know there and there that they move away from that because the consoles every year they don't make money off it. So instead of keep losing money, they said let's buy the studios and let them make the game. We make the profit. So they don't really need to be exclusive anymore with their console. That's why a lot of people complain about the Halo. I don't know if Halo is online. I don't think so yet. The one that just released, but it doesn't matter because it's now
it's going to be online co-op. It still has multiplayer technically, but you know,
it still has co-op.
Yeah.
It's 4 players.
Yeah. So regardless of this, I mean, if people complain about it, they should have got an Xbox. That's not a story. But like I said, that's the direction Microsoft starts to play it now. Even now with this hybrid that they, I don't know if they have pictures of it yet, but now with the handheld, I think this is the direction they're gonna move forward. You get me?
Yeah,
now, I'm hoping that PlayStation doesn't deal with the exclusive at this point because there's no more exclusive at this point. So it was only for depending on certain games that's released on PlayStation, maybe, but it should not be like that moving forward in the next new console.
What's going on, Louis?
So,
yo, what up, everybody?
Yeah.
Jersey.
What's up?
What's up, Joey?
But yeah,
Did anybody get the new Mortal Kombat? I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's the only game on my radio right now. As soon as I get paid tomorrow, I'm.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Did this come out yesterday? Cause I saw.
I think it came out this morning.
Yeah.
Which couple came out?
No, Mortal Kombat collection. I got it now. All the games, including the what they call the Mortal Kombat Defenders, which I didn't play. Then I'm probably see how that runs on the system.
It has Mortal Kombat 1 through 4 and most of the home ports.
Yeah. Even the handhelds.
Yeah, even the handhelds.
The popular ones, the more popular ones. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So
you want to get in, Louis?
What's good, Red Super? I don't know if you saw what I post, but go ahead.
Yeah, it was the thing with Microsoft, they don't know what the fuck they want to do. I mean, they have a history of buying studios. They mismanaged them, i.e., Rare. You had Rare Studios and used them to make clothes for avatars, and they end up shutting them down. So they're going to totally mismanage this. They're going to total blunder. I only see them as being a third party publisher, and maybe that's the best they could be successful at. But hey, look, I got an OG Xbox, a 360, a Japanese 360, and an Xbox X, and they don't know what the fuck they want to do.
Yeah. Oh, you missed all your fun. MOT was on here earlier, long ago.
Well, they know what they're doing. Salt to the Dollar told everybody what they're doing. So he just told everybody. And Amy the Hood, she was like, I want a 30% clear margin or else.
Oh, profit margin?
Yeah, she wants that or else. So, or else is pretty much they're going to shut those studios down and probably sell them. But yeah, they did overspend, and Game Pass is what crippled them. It was Game Pass. So they lost $300 million on Call of Duty, which is, I don't know how that's possible. As big as that game is with Warzone and all that stuff and Black Ops, how they lose that kind of money? Well, they put the game into Game Pass and they didn't get the numbers into Game Pass that they thought they would get. That's what happened. And so
you do get some extra games with the new system, though. They added Ubisoft Plus in there.
Yeah, but that's also in PlayStation. That doesn't make their console stand out. But no, you're right. It does have Ubi Plus. You don't pay extra for the EA, the EA Pass. That's all there. Yeah, they just raised the price on Game Pass. And now they're talking about a possible $1,200 to $1,400 system. Sarah Bond came out and was saying that it's going to be premium. She keeps saying the word premium, which means get your money ready. We'll see. This is we'll see. Yeah, with the parts they'll put in it. But it sounds interesting. But they're
and the rumor is they said that it's no longer going to be paying online, which I gotta see that if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true.
Well, if it's a PC, you don't do that with PC right now. You just get online and you.
And we don't know if they're gonna release like a cheaper version of it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people think they're going to release and are they going to release a disc version?
No, there's gonna be two. I would say they're gonna be two different versions. I think the one that's gonna pay like $1,200, that's gonna have everything in it, and anything less, I would say at most $800. But the PlayStation 6 is gonna be more affordable, with more quality anyway, for under that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're gonna be around.
So I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to boost it by giving free online. Do like that PlayStation deal, and I think that would be the best route just to make people make the decision. Okay, do I want to pay PlayStation Online? That's gonna be right now $80 to maybe $90, where I could just deal with this hybrid, this new experiment, and get online for nothing. So that is actually the best move Microsoft will do if they're gonna go that route, just to boost the numbers. Because think about it, there's no more exclusives. So what makes sense me buying your hybrid where people are now easily build a PC for a fraction of that?
Yeah, you know what to buy. Yeah, you can definitely get a really good working PC for about $900. I mean, if cheap, you can go cheaper than that if you actually. Well,
usually a dollar be perfect, but I think when I paid mine is like close to that. I think it was like 800. I had man in Texas, Shadow building. So yeah, but I won't expect those prices now when these things come out. But like I said, if you could build one for a fraction of that, then you're doing a good job. If you know what you're doing.
By the way, for anybody that's in my chat that's paying Adobe rent, and people who are graphic designers know what I mean by Adobe rent. Check out this link right here. This new app is called Affinity. It's called the Affinity app by Canva. It's free, and it's basically Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign all in one program. Only without all the bloat.
Really?
Yes. Now the catch is it's free, but the catch is for the AI tools you have to buy Canva Premium, which is $15 a month.
Okay.
Which is still considering Adobe's charging around what $60 a month, almost like $800 a year. Peace, good brother Art. You might want to check out that link, Art. That Affinity app is right up your alley, and it's free.
Also, check out my Kick channel as well because I'm building it.
Well, I hear a lot of people go moving to Kick. Now I gotta check Kick out.
I think who's also on Kick, the Saint is on there because of the politics of YouTube. So Kick right now is a decent platform for now. Once it gets his numbers to a point. So if you want to build up now, you better go over there now. Well, they don't get to a certain point where they're gonna make it harder. I say.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but who said we only talk about politics over here? When we talk about something else, I mean that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying I'm not saying nothing wrong with the politics, but I tell people we mix up a little bit. Hopefully,
you're gonna have plenty of fun on Saturday. I got to talk about Brick Lady's going to jail. Oops.
Yeah. Well, she's in jail.
Brick Lady. We have a stud teacher that just a creep. Just a straight pervert. But anyway, she got fired on her first day.
Oh, I saw that on Yahoo News. I did see that.
Yeah. On TikTok, let's just say it's universal. Even the studs are ripping her apart. And evidently, she had a get ready with me thing, and she showed herself putting a fake. How can I say this? Putting a fake hot dog in her pants.
Put what now?
I'm trying to be PG here. Put a fake hot dog with a little squeeze ball in her pants.
Oh man! Oh,
you mean the male essence?
Oh man!
Yeah, the fake male essence. I'm trying to be PG here.
Yeah, man. So someone shoot up the club and said, "This is my Holocaust." So someone shoot my club.
So yeah, even the studs are ripping her apart.
Oh man! Hey, AB, I'm a bounce. Hope I can catch you on Saturday.
I'm about to cut out myself.
Appreciate it, and y'all have a good evening.
All right.
I'd like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace. Yo, this is. Oh, happy Halloween for tomorrow. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.